Okay, so I just got this mouse pad and it's not going to be a review of any kind. It's just going to be my first impressions of the mouse pad because there's a few things that I wanted to touch on. Now I don't know how to kind of showcase this because it's kind of hard. It's sort of only like a feeling comparing this to the Zowie GSR, which at the end of the day, the main reason that I got it was because of the Zowie GSR. So I'm going to talk about the things. Well, one of the things that I dislike is the color, only because I don't know, this might be a positive thing, it might be a negative, I'm not sure yet. I guess I'm going to find out with time. I don't like wearing arm sleeves. I found that out the hard way. I've tried many different ones, even the one from Posart, and I don't feel comfortable, and I feel like I don't aim at my best when I'm wearing one. But for certain mouse pads, I feel like I have to wear them or else I'm going to get the mouse pad dirty. That happened with the Razer Strider, which I had the pink version of it. And, it gets a lot of, from my dead skin, it gets a lot of like white spots that are very noticeable. And I feel like on black mouse pads, you can definitely tell the spots because they develop like these white circles in them, which I'll showcase my Zowie GSR in a bit. I don't know how this one's going to be, if it's going to show those spots, but I'm kind of scared you're going to see a lot of like blackness from the sweat that may happen or occur from my hand, and then this mouse pad is just going to look very unpleasing to look at. Now that's not to say that the black mouse pads do not look bad at all. I mean, I don't know, maybe it's just something that I've gotten used to. So let me pull out my Zowie GSR just so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. Now I don't know how noticeable it is on the camera. I mean, what I'm looking at, there's white spots here, white spots here. But overall, even if this whole mouse pad had white spots, I think it would look a lot better than if this whitish grayish mouse pad had all like black spots. Because I feel like this is like, I'm pretty sure every color mouse pad or every dark color mouse pad has some sort of black from your sweat if you tend to sweat. But you're not going to notice it simply because you can't see it because it blends in with the blackness or the darkness of a mouse pad. But when it comes to this type of color, a lighter color, it's a lot more noticeable that you're going to see the sweat from it, but you're probably not going to see the white spots. But then again, like I said, you barely see them unless I like scratch it, which is there, and I don't think that goes away. But I noticed that as long as it's all even, it doesn't really affect anything. But I always keep going back to the Zowie GSR because it's the slowest mouse pad that I've ever used, and I've never been able to find one that's way slower than this. And a brand new Zowie GSR obviously tends to be faster than a worn out one, at least for me. I've bought in 3 of these mouse pads ever since I switched to PC gaming, which has been a couple of years now. I don't know how long it has been. But I have bought this mouse pad over and over again because I just keep coming back to it no matter how many other pads that I try. Speed pads, control pads, hard pads, and I just keep coming back to this because I'm able to play consistently on this mouse pad because it's like the slowest mouse pad. I don't know if it's because it's the slowest or there's just certain elements that I'm able to control my mouse movements on a lot of games, and I feel like I play my best. But when I heard that they were making a mouse pad that was even slower than the Zowie GSR, I kind of wanted to give it a try and see how I played. Now I haven't tested this out. I'm going to be playing for the next couple of months on this mouse pad, and even if I do bad, I'm just going to stick with it. I'm going to try different, well, only my main mice because I tend to switch between these two. I mainly main this one simply because it's my favorite. The shape, it feels comfortable. This one tends to give me hand pain because of how small it is. I don't feel like I have a perfect grip, and I tend to over aim a lot, even on the Zowie GSR. And I kind of want to test this mouse out on this pad because I will say, brand new right now, this mouse pad is slower than the Zowie GSR, and my Zowie GSR is very old and like dirty, as you can tell, and this is still slower than that pad. Like, it moves, but you struggle to move, and when I just flick it, it stops instantly. The Zowie GSR kind of has the same amount of friction, except it goes on a little bit and then it stops. There's no way for me to physically test this, but it's more of how I feel, that I can already feel the pull that this mouse pad is having on my mouse. Now, I'm going to be trying different mouse feet. So on this one, I have the Obsidian dots, which it feels faster on this pad. And then on this one, I have the ceramic Lepsic ceramic mouse feet, which feel a lot slower on this pad. So I will say these feet feel faster on this pad than the Zowie GSR, but these feet feel way slower on this pad than the Zowie GSR. I feel like using these mouse feet, it makes the Zowie GSR a lot faster than what I'm used to. But on this one, it's literally so, it feels like I'm pulling or tugging against the pad to fight against movement. Now, I know for a lot of people that's going to be negative, and I guess I'll find out, right? Because it's very dramatic compared to the Zowie GSR. And the only way I'm going to find out if how badly it's going to affect me, if it does at all, is once I start using this a lot more. One of the things that I'm afraid of is the consistency of the pad, if it's going to be consistent throughout its life cycle, depending on how long that is. The other thing that I'm worried about is washing it and how that's going to affect it. But I don't think a pad can get faster, right? Usually pads tend to be like their fastest brand new, and then they slow down. Unless you're like talking about a hard pad, which is a different case. But I feel like this is just going to get slower or stay at its speed. The only issue is I don't care if it gets slower. That's not my issue. I only have two problems. One, if it only gets slow in certain spots and it's very inconsistent, because if it goes slow like right here in the middle and then I'm trying to do a flick and it stops me, it's going to be very inconsistent, which is kind of the problem that I have with the Zowie GSR, with the humidity of the Zowie, which I know they have a version 2, but I still wanted to try this one out first before I pull the trigger on the Zowie GSR 2. So if I end up liking this, maybe I'll stick to it. But I'm also afraid that once I wash it, it's not going to look the best, basically. Like, I don't know like how sensitive this pad is. Like, I'm already getting it dirty. You can see a little speck right here. So I don't know. I wish there would have been a black version. When I tried to order it, there really wasn't any color options. They had other mouse pads that they came out with that a lot of people probably prefer those over this one, because they have like a lot of the lineups that kind of compare to the Artisan mouse pads. But I was excited, at least for me. I don't know how many people were excited for this one. Personally, I was excited for a super control heavy mouse pad, and I'm going to find out if I like it over the next few months. Once I've got into play, maybe into the end of the year, maybe by Christmas, I'll do a review, which I know it's a long time, but there's really no other way for me to be able to talk about it unless I actually play with it for a long time. And that's kind of how I do all my mouse pads. I tend to play with it unless I know it's going to be a pad that I don't like. Then I tend to just review it and kind of compare it to other mouse pads. But yeah, this is definitely something that I feel like the industry is going away from. So I'm happy that this company at least decided to make a slow pad. And I would have been happy even if they made a Zowie GSR clone and just made it into a desk mat version, because this pad is bigger than the Zowie GSR. So I'm happy with the size. The way that it feels is definitely very soft. I mean, it feels like a pillow somehow. I don't know. It's very cushiony and it sinks in like an Artisan pad. The stitching is very well done. But I honestly, like personally, I'm not one of those people that really cares if it like comes undone or whatever. It doesn't tend to bother me usually. Like, I tend to stay in the middle. I never really go to the edge. So like, that's perfectly fine. The base never really matters to me either. I mean, whether it moves or not, I tend to lay on it with my whole arm. So it's not like it's going to go anywhere when I'm on it. It's not going to like move forward or anything. I don't put pressure on it. I just rest on it and that's it. It's not like I'm leaning forward or anything. So I don't really ever worry about if a mouse pad is sliding and stuff. Plus I have it on top of other mouse pads. I have a desk mat under. So it's not like it's going to stick the best because I don't even have it on the desk. So yeah, those are the only few things that I kind of wanted to touch on. But yeah, this is going to be a brutal next few months. I mean, look at how the pad looks now. And once I make the video, we'll see how dirty it looks. I'm going to try to wash it as well in between then if it gets dirty, and seeing if anything comes off or if it's just going to look a total mess because of the color. I like the way the color looks. I'm not going to lie. Like, it does look nice. It's just, for people like myself, it's like I eat at my desk a lot. I mean, I don't like wearing a sleeve. I don't know how long this is going to last before I just tell myself, fuck it, I'm going to take it off and just start playing without it. Yeah, so we'll see, but let me know your thoughts down below. If you're interested in a Zowie GSR clone or something slower, if you're a control fanatic like myself, yeah. I mean, if you don't want to wait that long into a review, maybe you just want to purchase it yourself, because I feel like this is the only one, when I bought it, was the only one that wasn't sold out from this company. And I was like, well, I guess a lot of people don't want a control pad. I know they have different versions, like the Essentials and then the Premium. Think this is the essential one. I don't know what the difference is. Like the way I understood it, I think that it was based on the base, maybe the thickness. I don't know, but I don't know if it has the same speed. If the pad is the same down, I don't really care about the base of it personally. That might be something that you may be interested in, but I don't know if that's the only difference or not. So I try to reach out to the people over there, but they haven't responded to me. So I don't know. I don't want to buy another pad of the same one, just the premium version of it, and trying to compare the difference, because I'm not made of money like that. So yeah, but I really wanted a control pad, so yeah, I got it. It's like pulling against me where I'm trying to move. Like I said, a lot of people are going to find that to be a negative, but I'm going to try to play a lot of Valorant, a lot of Counter-Strike, a lot of Overwatch, especially when it comes to tracking. I want to see how well that does, and I want to see the micro adjustments, if it's going to like impact me in a negative way when like I'm trying to aim at someone's head and all of a sudden like I just want to make a small micro adjustment to their head. I'm going to see if it affects that, or if it just makes me a better player or a more consistent player, I would say, because my issue is trying to be consistent whenever it comes to like my aim. So we'll see how it goes. I'll keep you updated, but yeah, leave your thoughts down below and I'll talk to you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Have a lovely rest of your night or day whenever you're watching, and yeah, take care.